So all of our blending hammers are super, super lightweight in the industry, and that's by design. That's how we want it for most metals that we're working on the cars and most strikes. We want to have a lot of control, a lot of good feeling and all that. We're going to be reaching out, working on rails and getting far away to really finish a dent. That's why our hammers come in different lengths so we can get further away from the tool. However, if you're working on some bad damage or some high strength steel or aluminum or something, that's when the problem comes in. You're swinging this really super light hammer and all your muscles, tendons, joints, everything else are doing all the work. And most of the energy is bouncing off. And the harder you have to hit it, the more distances you're having to get further away from the panel. And so that makes it very hard to accurately strike exactly the pinpoint area you're trying to hit over and over. It just opens up more room for error, okay? So that's the problem I was trying to solve with the HammerWeights, because believe it or not, blending and knocking down tears our shoulders and elbows up more than pushing usually. Now, improper pushing will obviously cause a lot of damage that way. But so enter the HammerWeights. So you're going to get all four in a set, and they range from 1 ounce up to 6.9 ounces, with a couple in between there. And what you're going to do is you're just going to add a HammerWeight, right, just like you would a normal extension, in between your tip. Okay. Now, what that's going to do is substantially change the weight. I wish I would have filmed the guys' reactions at Mobile Tech Expo. They were like, wow, I mean, it's a way different tool. Now what that does is it allows me to stay way closer to the panel and deliver a lot more force without exerting any part of my arm, muscles or tendons or anything. So, and since I'm not going far away, of course I'm over exaggerating. Nobody's doing this when they're blending, I hope. But again, even an inch of difference staying closer to the panel is going to make more accurate blending and just knocking down in general. So that's the purpose of the HammerWeights. And it also uses totally different muscles. You're using more muscles to lift versus more muscle to drive down. So it's a completely opposite thing, which will help undo, hopefully, some of the damage that we've done to our bodies over the years. So that's the HammerWeights. You can use them in any configuration. Sometimes you'll just want a little bit more oomph to your tapping, I'll call it. And that's where you're going to go start with the smallest ones. And again, just like an extension, but you're going to be able to dial in your exact hammer. Now, keep in mind that a longer hammer is going to require less weight added to it to get the same movement of the metal. So you're really going to want to play around with these HammerWeights and get the exact configuration you want. Of course, they're all designed with that, the O-ring groove that EdgyTools is so famous for and has trade dress on that. So that's the HammerWeight. So you'll get exactly the weight you want and the feel you want out of the hammers that you already have, as well as the tips you already have, because we used industry standard threads. So, and that O-ring is going to keep it from slipping loose. So that's the HammerWeights. Again, you're going to use any configuration. You can use all four weights, any combination of 2 or 3 of them, or just one, whatever you want to do. But that's going to give you the exact feel, balance, and everything for your blending. And blending's tough for a lot of guys until you get it figured out. But this is going to be like training wheels for blending. So, and again, you can use the weight down when you're striking or up. Try it both ways. One way may feel more natural. Usually down feels more natural, but it's going to move the metal differently. So pay attention to what you're doing and pay more attention to the results versus the feel. So there's, especially like glue pulling is that way a lot. A lot of times I don't like the feel of the tab, but boy, it fixes the dent a lot faster. So I kind of go with that, go with the results is what you're looking for. Save time, energy, effort, and you'll make more money and go home less tired. So that's the HammerWeights. One more thing that I wanted to point out is you can add the HammerWeights to your knockdown as well. So let's say you're working on some aluminum and it's the same energy saving principle. Let the weight of the tool do the work versus you doing the work. So instead of using your paddle or wedge, whatever you're striking your knockdown with, and having to really hit it hard and push down and hit it hard on aluminum and some of these high strength steels and stuff, simply add the stack. Obviously, you're going to stack them in reverse order that you would on the blending hammer on a knockdown, but that's going to give you great visibility. So you'll just screw your tip into the bottom. And obviously that's not the tip you're going to use working an aluminum hood. You'd have something with a little more point on it to drive accurately. But then you can screw your favorite knockdown on this end. And again, you've got great visibility and control. So works awesome with the control punch. That's the one I've tried it on. But any knockdowns you already have, the HammerWeights are going to work well with that as well. So just a little added bonus that I thought I'd worth mentioning. So check them out. I love feedback. Let me know what you think, and let me know how it's making your life easier and better.